Hello everyone, welcome to a modern video. Rodrigo is on a mold 6. Eric starts us off with a windswept heath. Rod plays a plains, Eric cracks the windswept heath, finding a stomping ground. He then plays a godless shrine tapped and passes. Rod plays a plains and passes again. Eric plays a hollowed fountain and passes the turn. Rod plays a ghost quarter for turn. He then casts Thalia, Heretic Cathar. Eric plays a lightning helix targeting the Thalia. Eric plays a Pillar of the Paruns for turn. Eric then taps 2 and plays a Glittering Wish. He finds a Keranos, God of Storms. For Rod's turn, he plays a Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Eric plays a Swamp, and then casts Keranos. Rod plays a Blast Zone for turn. He casts a Thought-Knot Seer. Eric reveals a hand containing 2 Bring Delights, a Detention Sphere, and a Mana Confluence. Rod takes the Detention Sphere and attacks Eric for 2. Eric reveals a Lightning Helix to Keranos' trigger, hitting the Thalia with the ability. He plays a Mana Confluence return and plays a Bring Delight. He finds a Niv Mizzet Reborn. With Niv's trigger, he gets Assassin's Trophy, Izzet Charm, Bring Delight, Teferi Time Raveler, and Deafening Clarion. Rod plays a Shefet Dunes return. He taps the plains and casts Path to Exile. Eric finds a forest from the path. Rod casts a second Thought-Knot Seer. Eric reveals his hand containing Lightning Helix, 2 Bring Delights, Assassin's Trophy, Izzet Charm, Teferi Time Raveler, and Deafening Clarion. From these, Rod takes the Assassin's Trophy and tacks Eric down to 16. Eric reveals a Raging Ravine to his Keranos trigger and draws another card. He then plays the Raging Ravine for turn. He casts a Bring Delight. He finds a Supreme Verdict, destroying the 2 Thought-Knot Seers and drawing 2 cards. Eric goes to clean up and discards a Birds of Paradise. For Rod's turn, he plays a Flicker Wisp, targeting a Plains. In response to the target, Eric taps 2 and casts a Lightning Helix, targeting the Flicker Wisp. Rod goes to the end of his turn and his Plains comes back to play. Eric reveals a Sacred Foundry to his Keranos trigger and draws another card. He then plays the Sacred Foundry for turn. He taps 3 and casts a Teferi Time Raveler, plussing it. At the end of Eric's turn, Rod taps 2 and adds counter to his Blast Zone. Rod taps a Plains and casts a Giver of Runes. At Rod's end step, Eric casts a Lightning Helix targeting the Giver of Runes. Eric reveals a Grove of the Burn Willows to Keranos and draws another card. He then plays it, and then pluses his Teferi. He taps a land and casts a Safe Right quest, finding an Overgrown Tomb and putting it into his hand. At Eric's end step, Rod taps 2 and puts a counter on his Blast Zone. On his turn, Rod cracks the Blast Zone, destroying Eric's Teferi. At Rod's end step, Eric casts a Bring Delight due to Teferi's +1. He finds a Niv Mizzet Reborn and puts it into play. In response to the trigger, Rod taps Shefet Dunes and casts Path to Exile on Niv Mizzet. Eric finds a Plains from the path. From Niv's trigger, Eric gets a Tolsmere, Kolaghan's Command, Thought Erasure, and Lightning Helix. Eric reveals a Bring Delight to Keranos' trigger and deals 3 to Rod. He then taps 2 and casts Thought Erasure, targeting him. Rod reveals a hand of Flicker Wisp and Leonin Arbiter. Eric takes the Leonin Arbiter. He then casts a Tolsmere, getting a 3/3 Wolf and gaining 3. It is at this point that Rod concedes the game.